Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Lancing with Myself, the weekly YouTube show where I take 5 minutes to talk about game design, trying to give you some inspiration and ideas and education about how to be a great game designer and a freelance creative when you're low on spoons and low on cash. This week I want to talk about energy. It's very easy to get depressed when you're creative, especially in the moment. The industry is sort of ballooning with a lot of content. It's making it harder and harder for young designers or even fledgling designers to get started, or even any designers. There's always more competition, and it's harder and harder to sort of get shelf space because companies are battling and they're needing things that really, really need to stand out. At the same time, we have a lot of other things going on. There's financial concerns and frustration with game designers and all sorts of things that can make you feel frustration with the process, frustration with not having enough money, frustration about having the ability to get access to companies. There are lots of things that can keep you down, and there are lots of things that can wear you out. It's a long slog. Making games is a long, slow process that is constantly hustling, constantly repeating itself, and it wears you down. And that's very difficult. But you have to be prepared to deal with that, and you also have to be prepared not to always put that out into the industry. We have to talk about it. We have to realize that this is a thing that's going on, but it's also important about where you put your energy. If you are something that takes energy out of a process and out of a people and out of a group, that's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for the group, and it's not going to people will not want to be around you. So what does that mean? That means you have to think about whether you are actually suggesting things that are positive and helpful and are moving things forward. That doesn't mean being a shiny, happy person who doesn't agree there's any problems. It means helping people find solutions so they can take things forward. It means not being fatalistic. It means being able to work towards something, to lift people up instead of tearing them down, to not just be constantly grumpy and seeing the worst and seeing the things like, I'm never going to succeed, we're never going to succeed, nobody can get up, only the famous people do it, only the rich people do it. All these things are true, but they're not exactly helpful in terms of building a community and building support. And this is a lifelong philosophy that applies everywhere. It's not just like on the internet to be a shiny, happy person. You need to share your energy. You need to give energy to help people get going, because that'll also help you get going. The more you share, the more you'll feel inspired as well to get going. So I always think about it. If there's anyone who's doing a talk, I try to be the first person to lead that clap, right? Just to get that energy up and to clap a little bit louder and a little bit harder, because if someone's up there leading a talk, then they deserve, respect and attention and support. Even if it's their first talk or their 100th talk, we're about putting that energy in. And if you are seeing people at a convention, you want to smile and welcome them and encourage them. Every time you see a new prototype, you got to go, oh, that's looking really good. Even if it's not your kind of game, so it's great to see you here. Can't wait to see what you've got. I can't afford most games. A lot of game types don't interest me. A lot of designers make games that I'm not interested in, but I'm always good to see. I'm always asking, how's your con going? What have been your successes? What's blocking you? Is there something I can help you with? Hey, you should talk to that guy. I'm trying to give energy into the process, and that for me helps me keep going, but it also helps the community keep going, I think. And that's really important, is that there's so many ways that you can be in a community, and you really have a choice about where you put your energy. The phrase energy is a choice I got from an old improv class. Yeah, look, improv is a silly thing, but it's a really important point of improv, in that you can't just sit at the back and wait for ideas to happen, or wait for your friends to be doing something funny. You have to put energy in, support other people, be animated, be alive, be positive, say yes. Not always say yes to every single project, but to the idea of what we're doing here, to the people that are here. This is a good thing we are doing. Most of us are good, hardworking people trying to find our way forward. We're trying to build something. We are good, helpful people. We should support each other. We should, cheer each other's successes, commiserate others' failures. It's a small thing, but it's all about keeping that sense of community and keeping that sense of energy. Because, as I said, there are so many reasons to feel down and confused and frustrated. Anything you can do to help people get over that is going to help them make more games, and they're going to remember it and hopefully return some of those favors to you as well. and it'll also, as I say, help your own mood. And there's a train coming, so I'll see you next week. Till next time.